Hello.
Hi.
So I'm here live with Cara Black,
Bonjour.
and we're on, you can see it up here, Rue de Paradis.
Where I kill someone.
Where you killed someone?
Yes, I do.
No, someone just walked past and looked at you like, and we're going to go on a little bit of a walk show.
Right.
And for anyone who doesn't know who you are, you're an author.
I'm an author. I
Crime
write
fiction.
Yes.
And how many books have you done?
18.
As one of your fans just went past then. Okay, so we're going to show you some cool things. I'm going to turn you around. If you're watching, let me know as usual if the sound's working or if anything's off. And I'll switch them around now, Cara.
Okie doke.
Okay, so now we'll point some things out. First, Rue Paradis. Can you stand under that and say hello so we all know what we're watching? Hang on.
Bonjour. Hello. We're in the 10th arrondissement, Rue de Paradis,
Okay, and now...
where I wrote a book, and there's a body found right
So, where was the body found?
right here.
Around here?
Yeah, near the chaussée side.
This is cool. So what is... That's like old tiled sign up there. Wow, it's beautiful up there. Ah.
Yeah, so it used to be a manufacturing area.
Yeah.
Workshops. A lot of leather.
And now it's busy. So I thought we could get it off this busy street and explore down where you're killing all these people, right?
Okay.
So we cross in front of the bus. Yep. Okay, whoa, here we are. So if you want to follow at home, Cité Paradis. And that's where we're going through. Lead the way, Cara.
Okay.
So for anyone that's just tuning in, okay, bonjour from Melinda. She says bonjour.
Bonjour.
Good morning from John. Okay, people are watching.
Yeah, cool.
So this is Cara Black.
Hello.
We're chasing the steps of where she likes to kill people in Paris because she's a crime writer.
That's right. Murder by arrondissement, I say.
And the thing is, well, I'm going to walk backwards. We said that we'd do a tour in Boutokai, but we're not there.
No, we're not. We're in the 10th. We're not the 13th. And if we'd been able to do it the other day, it would have been sunny, but these things happen, so...
It was too rainy this morning.
Yeah. But this is great because, and I forget all the history that I knew to write the story.
Right.
But you do see these big workshops that are now trendy. And I was fascinated by that Hotel Particulier because I had friends from California who had like a little studio, I don't know, they made videos and things. And they would talk about that building, and I was like, well, I could have some kind of crime happen there. And they're going, yeah, but not until we, vacate our studio. But yeah, so I don't remember the history, but it's very cool.
But for anyone tuning in, van's trying to kill us this time. Anyone that's just tuning in, wondering what we're doing, we're exploring an area where Cara Black, the crime writer, look at. She sees an open door and she goes for it. What is it?
Oh, it's just nothing interesting. More interesting up here.
And we've just done an episode talking about your crime books and how... Oh, we're talking about the crime books and how when you're in Paris you're like a sponge.
Yes.
What did you mean by that?
Well, I don't write when I'm here. I just try to absorb the atmosphere and take notes and lots of photos. Your studio is right up there. And just kind of get the feeling in the ambience because when I go home and write in San Francisco, I kind of got to get back in that space.
Right.
So, let's see what... Oh! I actually snuck in there once. Look at this.
What have we got here?
We have some ancient...
You can see down into it.
Yeah.
No bodies.
No.
No bodies, Cara. You look disappointed.
I am.
What's in?
There's ceilings in there. What a place to work, eh?
Yeah. You sounded almost Canadian then. Be careful on the steps. So we're going to walk, what we plan to do as a backup instead of walking around Boutokai is we're going to walk down a few of these little cool passages in the 10th where, I'm going to switch it back to us for a sec.
Because we should remember this was very industrial for those days. There were, what do you call it, kind of wholesale leather goods, metal goods. You can see, it was a very busy commerce, center of commerce. And then we've got these great little Hotel Particuliers, which are, I don't know, some famous wealthy aristocrat lived or courtesan.
Yeah.
Because, you know.
And what about this screams to you good setting for a murder mystery?
Because it's a place where it's industrial and you have to know to come here if you're not working here in the day. So at night, you know, it's not a place people go to and the gates are locked.
I didn't even know this road that we're on existed.
So you gotta hang with me.
I know I gotta hang with you. I'm trying to make it happen more. But I've been on Rue de Paradis, which is just up that way, where we started.
Yeah.
And I've been around, but I didn't even know that this sort of gated little community is hidden here.
And I became friends with the gardien, the concierge on the Rue de Hauteville, and he talked about how there's, they call it confectionery, you know, with piecework on the garments, and that he did piecework. And then I said, really? He said, yes, there's a big tradition in these little ateliers, and that he took me to one where a woman did piecework for Chanel, doing hems, and whereas we talked about pret-à-porter, not the haute couture. But so there's always this commerce, you know. Paris was always like this. But
I'm going to turn it back around and show that the thing is opening. Corinne says hi there. I'm not sure. She could be talking to us. She could be talking to you. Could be talking to me. But hi there to you as well, Corinne. So now you see we're coming through this gateway kind of thing that we talked about. Oh, watching out for the puddle. Cité Paradis. Okay, and now we're going to go this way, I think.
Oh, we should tell them what's at the end there, that church.
Yeah, so if you see right where I'm pointing, that is the church de Saint Vincent de Paul. And Saint Vincent de Paul, the fellow himself was kicking around there.
Yeah.
But now it's just it's kind of an empty church, isn't it?
But they've restored the front.
And it looks beautiful. I actually did a walk show around that church, believe it or not. Believe it or not, Cara.
See, all these were hotel particulier, but of course they've changed, right? There's more. If you can remember, maybe we'll walk by it. Are we at Rue de Hauteville now? The Bourrienne should be here.
Another courtyard. I love walking. We're quite similar, Cara, in that when we see an open courtyard, we go in. Come on, let's go in until we get kicked out.
Okay.
Just for a look. Yep.
Do you know what these mean?
I think I know, but I'd like you to tell me. What are those? Which you mean the kind of?
The groove.
Tell me.
The groove. Well, I'm not a historian, but I've heard that this was kind of like the gutter, you know, the medieval, which would make sense because there's a drain.
That's the clue.
That's the clue. Very interesting how this sort of winds around.
You know what? I think what I heard matches what you said, because people used to throw their toilet water out from the buildings, and then I guess it would have landed down in that. Makes sense, right?
Right, you want it to go away.
Don't stand there now, Cara.
I love how those little nail things stick up so pigeons don't roost.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
Or whatever they're called.
I read a really cool thing the other day about those kind of nail things. So those ones that you just pointed to are for pigeons, but there are some in some places that are made out of thicker metal, and they used to be to put candles. They stuck candles on them to burn through the night. But these ones are just pigeons.
Yeah.
Just a typical Parisian courtyard.
With the creche collective in the back, the modern, you know, the nursery.
Should we have a look?
It's very modern.
They haven't kicked us out yet.
There's a beautiful creche in the 9th arrondissement in front of the library. It's
Right.
amazing. So look what's all behind here. Look at those roofs, these small houses. Look at that. And the traces of the chimney.
Oh yeah, that is so cool. So that would have been, yeah. So there's the chimney going up towards the top. And I guess it would have been the two buildings before.
Yeah.
Who would have thought this morning, Cara, that you and I would be in this courtyard?
I'm coming to see the creche. Imagining, that's very modern, but what a nice way to come and go from the nursery.
Oh man. Well, that's Paris for you.
Yeah?
And what is this, a prison? Very white. Surprisingly clean here.
Yeah.
What does that tell you?
It tells me the area is boboized, you know, it's boboized.
And for people who don't know what a bobo is, sounds like a
They're
clown.
like
Hipster?
hipsters with money. Lots
Hipsters
of
with
money.
money?
The tent used to be really dodgy. Edgy.
Oh. Hey, so just a reminder for people, I see Corinne's just tuned in. For people tuning in, we are walking in the 10th. We started on Rue de Paradis, and now we're on, I think it's Hauteville, but we're heading south. And we're looking for, there's a little, in fact, that could be it, a little passageway or two to oh
my God!
Is that the passageway I was thinking of? Yeah, I think so. But we were meant to be in Butokai this morning, but we got rained out and then it stopped raining, so we headed this way. That's not the passage.
No, I think it's a garage.
And so we're both, I wouldn't say floundering, but we're not where we thought we'd be.
Yeah, we're just walking.
But we thought it would be cool because Cara wrote a book called Murder on the Rue Paradis, or Rue de Paradis.
And I met a concierge who I was talking about, I think it was there.
Yeah.
And he was telling me all about, he'd been a concierge here for 20 years. And really told me about the life of the quartier. Very poor immigrants would come and do, you know, menial jobs, piecework. A lot of them, yeah, did a lot of sewing. So now we're at the Rue des Petites Écuries.
So here's the corner for you guys. People like to look it up on the maps at home.
Okay.
So it's Rue de Hauteville, you can't see the word ville, and on the corner of Rue de Petites Écuries, although someone's changed it to Fury. Écurie, yeah, it means stables. There's such a strong history of horses in Paris.
Oh, look in there. Look at that shop.
Let's go and have a look.
For masks or something here. Look at this store.
That's unusual. Self-portrait. Yeah, well that's Paris, isn't it? New and old all mixed together. And everything, look, the bar there is called Les Petites Écuries, the little stables.
Yeah.
So there's one, yeah, I think down this way to the right is a really
Really
the
done
interior.
up.
Wow, look at the inside of that building up there. And people are
And
smiling.
she's like, what? I can open the window.
I think,
I know.
I think she's inviting us in. I honestly do.
Yeah.
Anyway, we just want to show the roof of the building. It's really incredible.
Yeah.
Okay. I always get. Bonjour.
Je vois que vous êtes des personnes de goût.
Ouais. Ouais, mais maintenant j'ai fait un film. Je peux. Et vous parlez-vous anglais par hasard?
A little bit.
Great. We're talking English. Say hello to the viewers.
Okay. Hello.
But what have you got here?
It's a pop-up gallery.
Okay.
Pop-up gallery,
It's
yeah.
a pop-up gallery. Every week it changes, and we are going for this week to show some primitive art.
Can we have a quick look inside? Can we come?
Yeah.
Let's do
if
it.
you want.
Let's do it.
You
The
stay-
people are watching live from all over the world.
Oh
Let's
yeah.
have a look. Come. What is your name?
My name is Peter.
Peter.
And this week we show some very devil things from Thailand, from Burma, from Africa, from Nepal. Very strong things, you see.
Yeah.
Things like you can see in the Quai Branly Museum. You know the Quai
Yes.
Branly Museum?
Yeah.
Like demons and dark
Demons.
forces.
These are demons from Thailand. But we have the, I don't know the English name, to kill the demon. We have also.
Oh, good.
You got something to kill the demon. This is great. So doing a walk show, we find a demon killer.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna come out and pick it up. But just quick, because we need to continue.
You see these shirts, they are to kill the demon.
Okay, let's go and have a look. Let's go in.
You can see the same in the Musée du Quai Branly at that time because there is an exhibition about ghosts
Okay.
at Quai Branly Museum.
Quai Branly Museum. So these are. I don't. So that's a demon killer T-shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Is it Tibetan? No. Tibet?
No, this is from Thailand.
Thailand. Okay.
But we have things from Tibet. We have things from Burma also, and from Nepal. And,
Oh, we'll have a quick look.
you stay some days here in Paris?
I live in Paris, and you know this is a world famous author.
We're just doing
Cara
a walk
Black.
around the area.
Okay, so take this.
I would take. So for anyone just tuning in, wondering what's happening, we're just looking
Off
at.
with the demons.
Tell us what we're doing, Cara.
The demon, I
In a
cannot show.
pop-up shop in a wonderful building in
Yes.
Woodville.
This is, she is the owner of this place.
Wonderful.
And it's a very beautiful place.
It's beautiful place.
You know, a lot of people think that Parisians don't speak English, but you speak such good English, Peter.
Not so very well.
And the Parisians are not friendly.
Yeah,
We
people
just
say
met
they're
them
not
on the
friendly.
street and you invited us in.
Okay, and we are dealers, so we hope you.
Okay, I'll show everybody at home so they
Show
can
the
come in
card.
too. Bijoux sorcières.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, well, thank you for having us, and we'll come back when we're not doing the live video next time.
So
What is
with
that?
this, you can't. Comment est-ce qu'on dit rater quelque chose?
You can't miss.
Yeah, you can't miss your movie with this.
What is it?
This is from Thailand also, and you put it's you fight everybody like this. And for example, this is the for all the people, and this is from Thai box.
Thai boxing.
Thai boxing.
Okay, so
Thai
it's like a
boxing.
weapon.
No.
It's like a
This is
headdress.
a weapon, but you put it, it's better than any weapon.
So like a talisman, or for good luck, or safety.
For
or...
good luck, for good love, for good money, and for good fight.
Ah.
Okay.
Everything.
And you're putting them on display. They're not for sale.
So they are for sale.
Everything's for sale. Okay.
Yeah, all for sale.
That's funny because I wanted to have a headpiece for when I was doing my demon fighting.
There you go. Well,
And all these they are for kill the devil. Huh? This is from Thailand also. This is from Africa.
Wow. Okay, well, Peter, thank you for your time. Be sure. There you go. Upside down. Upside down.
Whoa.
There you go. Thanks for having me and Cara. You've been on the Earful
Where are you
Tower.
from? Where are you from?
Australia and America.
Okay.
and you're at the Earful Tower.
The Earful Tower podcast.
Yes, look for it.
Tell your friends. Thanks for having me.
See you next day.
See you next
We
time.
stay till Sunday.
Okay, see you next time then. Thank you. There you go, Cara. That's what happens on the walk show.
Yeah,
Who would have thought that we'd be getting?
in this pop-up shop.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now where was that little?
The Petit Écurie. Wow.
I think we go down this one and then right. Wow, that was kind of fun. Hang on.
When I would come and research here during the weekend, there's not many people, because it's very business and commerce oriented, especially, with the industries. And but it feels so much more. Well, of course, it's a work day, but I think it's much more lively.
It certainly feels lively when people like Peter are taking us into his gallery and offering us. I don't even know what that was.
He wants us to buy some demon killing apparatus.
Hang on, hang on, we have to stop here.
Yes.
For all you Australians watching, Kangaroo House. I don't know what that is. A creche? It's a play. What's creche in English? Children's
Nursery school.
Nursery school.
But they're swimming. Oliver, see, they're swimming.
Kangaroos don't swim, Cara.
Well, but they look like they're nudging,
It does, yeah.
baby pool or something.
Okay. Onwards.
Okay.
Onwards and upwards. We've been getting a few comments from people who quite like Peter.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a fan of Peter by the sounds of it. He's quite an entertaining chap, wasn't he?
Yeah, see, and Parisians are friendly.
Yeah, that just dispelled the myth right there.
Yeah, Parisians.
If you just look at the screen, doesn't that look beautiful?
Yeah, and look at, what is that called? You must know, where they've got the glass down, sort of, what is it, like Winter Garden or Winter Terrace or...
Yeah,
Am I making that up?
I can tell you, but I would have to kill you.
Okay. That's the price.
But I don't actually know what they're called. But one thing we can talk about that you and I were talking about before is you see those things, what do you call balconies? Remember we were talking about them?
Yeah.
Apparently, and we're yet to see it, but apparently when they had the iron shape of a penis,
Oh, right. Yes.
it was a sign that it was a brothel. So we're going to look for them on this walk too.
We are. We're gazing. You always have to look up in Paris.
Say that again. Hang on. Say that again with. That can be part of the trailer, Cara. I like it. Say it in front of this beautiful chasse-roux, or in front of the beautiful door. Are you ready?
What?
I want you to repeat exactly what you said, and then I'm going to zoom up. Go on.
You always have to look up in Paris.
Yes.
Really?
You're right. Now there it is. There's the little passage I was looking for.
All right.
Okay.
Really, I've walked on the street and I've always, you know, not looked up and went, I've walked the street so many times. Why didn't I see that?
Yeah. And I think to add to what you said, you always have to look down as well. Not just for the dog excrement, but also for the interesting things that are always down by your feet. Don't you agree?
I think so, yeah. And look, you can see the old gas mains or gas hookups, and here's where, I mean, it would be bigger, but when the buildings were heated by coal, they have coal chutes, so the coal man would come and.
Is that what that thing is, a coal chute?
Well, no, there's bigger ones, but
Right.
that has ventilation for the coal.
Yeah, that makes
cab.
sense. Ah, cool.
Yeah, sometimes you'll find them. Oh, look at that.
Okay, so here's another little passageway I wanted to take you guys down. It's called, you can't read it there, but you can read it on this side.
Yeah.
Passage des Petites Écuries. And in the 10th arrondissement we are.
We are.
Anyone playing along at home, and that's where we're walking. Kind of, what have you found?
Brocan Solidaire. So it's a flea market, 27th of May, and so it's like a solidarity of the people of the community. Kind
Okay.
of, you know, brocants are like flea markets or attic. What do you call it? Vide grenier. Or say garage sale.
Garage sale. Lovely. Well, we'll have to come back for that.
You will.
So will you. You have to come back from the States.
I'd like to.
So this is just another one of those little, you know, people say about this show that I'm not afraid to tell the truth, and I will tell you guys the truth. Usually this passage would smell like urine, but it's rain, so it smells fresh.
Pretty
But
fresh.
the reason is that yeah, it still smells a bit.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of bars around here, so people tend to, you know, sneak into the hidden parts to relieve themselves. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
I hate to tell the truth, but it is.
It's true.
What do you think that is? Ride in peace. Cyclists maybe died here, do you think?
Look at this. This is an old workshop. And now it's probably some, you know, architect's office or something.
Do you think you could, Cara, do you think you could kill someone here?
Definitely, definitely. A lot of possibilities.
I love it. Isn't it beautiful as well? I didn't, once again, if you look up,
And there used to be so many blanchisserie, you know, shops that would dye clothing or bleach it, and there's, you know, you rarely see that sign anymore.
true. What was it?
Blanchisserie.
Blanchisserie. It's all about dying and killing with you, isn't it?
There used to be the lavoir, you know, those barges where people would, laundresses would, you know, wash the sheets, and
Right.
people would bring it down there. And I always thought, you know, murder on a peniche or something, or a barge.
Yeah.
Really, look at this. Isn't this great? Imagine. So this was the king's stables. I don't know which king. Maybe you know.
Definitely not.
Okay.
But this street is lovely. Not to mention this side of it as well. So this is where all the youngsters are hanging out for, you know, for drinks on a Wednesday night even.
Yeah.
But I think, if I remember that side, we can get to the end and then say au revoir to our lovely viewers.
You did get this part, right?
I did get it, but I'll show again. You know what? I actually do know something about this street.
Okay.
Someone told me that, and I want to investigate it, but underneath where we're walking was the old canal that connected to the river. So the Canal Saint-Martin, I think, I have to look it up, but it used to run underneath where we're walking, and that's why, that's exactly why the road curves like this, because it was a curve of the canal.
Right.
Whether it's true or not, or I don't know.
Sounds good. I like it.
It sounds good.
But you know, in the Butte aux Cailles, the Rue de Bièvre, which is all covered over now, which we would have walked on top of, because the tanners, the leather treaters, the hides, all the poisonous, toxic stuff went in there. And then they finally, I think in the 20s, or I'm not sure, covered it over, sort of like this, because it was just so putrid. Tanners. Maybe it was earlier, but
That makes all these stories make sense.
yeah.
If you guys have questions for author Cara Black, now is the time to ask them, because we're going to get to the end of this street and say goodbye. So if you ever had a question for the goddess of crime on anything,
I like that goddess of crime.
well, you are the goddess of crime.
I just, kill people.
Yeah.
That's it. Look at, there's Brasserie Flo. Have you ever been there?
You got so excited. I thought something was happening. No, what is it?
It's an old, 19th century brasserie.
This looks new.
Well, they've redone it.
Okay.
And it was bought out by a big company, but...
I have been here for a drink, not to eat though. It's
So
quite
the
nice.
inside is nice?
It's really nice, yeah. In fact, this whole area, if you come here, especially at the weekend, in the summer, people sit along all the curbsides drinking beer, and the place on the left, just up here, gives free potato chips, like not potato chips, wedges, like big plate of wedges for people, just for free, and it keeps everybody hanging around. People come in for a free meal, basically.
Well, you have to tell people the name. They're gonna wanna come.
I'm going to show them, but first, Catherine Watt has a question for you, Cara.
Yeah.
Cara? She says, Cara, I'll ask you straight to your face. Have you ever considered moving to Paris full time?
I would love to. But I have a puppy now, so in San Francisco. So it's going to be until he's trained and gets a little bigger, because he's not as well behaved as the Parisian dogs.
Well, that was an easy answer. And we actually talked a lot more about that kind of stuff on the podcast episode, which I think will come out either next week or the next. And here's the bar with the free food, the chap up top. And I just got a notification, 10% battery left, so maybe we should say farewell now rather than letting it decide when we end. But you guys, if you come to Paris, you should check this street out. I'll just put it back on us for a second. There we are.
Bye.
Thanks for coming on, Cara.
Thank you, Oliver, and thank you all for joining us.
And yeah, any more murders, you want to know who to blame? Cara Black.
No, it's fun. I get to write about the social history and just the Paris of today and the past, which is, I'm so lucky.
Read her book and be tuning in for the episode, read her books.
Books.
And tune in for our episode soon. Thanks for joining us.
Ciao.